Thanks for the tour, Jean.
Oh, it was my pleasure, Mrs. Long.
Oh, call me Lucy.
Okay.
Now, I understand that you've been appointed your father's guardian.
Yes, but I don't think I can give the care that he needs. The doctor said that his dementia is progressive and that he shouldn't live alone. That's why we wanted to see the assisted living wing. Also, we have a few questions about the facility.
So how do you like our place?
Dad, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, it's nice.
You really have a lovely place here, and my dad seems to be very comfortable. May we have one of your brochures?
Oh, yes, of course. Here's a complete packet of information, including the enrollment form that you may take with you.
Oh, thank you. Now, my father wouldn't have to sign a contract, would he?
No, you sign as his guardian.
Wouldn't that make me personally liable for his bills?
No, as his guardian, you are representing him and sign as his guardian. You may want to review this with an attorney who can help you with things like Medicaid eligibility, setting up a guardianship bank account, and record keeping, and other things that your father may want, like a do not resuscitate order.
Wow, I didn't think of that. Well, thanks for your time, Jean.
You're welcome.
Now, before I sign anything, I want to discuss this with my sister.
Oh, of course.
But since my dad seems to like it here, I think we'll be back. This is the place that my father likes.
Oh, it's very nice. Have you signed a contract yet?
No, not yet.
Good. Because you must first let the probate court know that you'd like to change your father's residence, and they need to approve the move.
Oh, okay, I'll do that.
And I'm curious, have you set up a separate Guardian bank account for your father's expenses?
Yes, I set up a Guardian checking account at the bank when I first became his guardian.
Good, because it's so important to keep your father's money separate from yours, and it will make it so much easier when you need to do the yearly financial reports that are required here at the court.
Oh, all right.
And remember to get prior approval before expending any guardianship money, and keep all the receipts from your father's expenses. And then you'll need to keep monthly records showing all the deposits and withdrawals from the Guardian account.
Thanks, Hallie. I really appreciate all your help.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Interesting. I'm curious, though. You mentioned getting court approval before spending any of John's funds. How does a guardian do that?
Well, initially, the guardian will need to submit a budget to the court of their ward's expenses for things such as food, clothing, lodging, utilities, etc. But for any unforeseen or unusual expenses, the guardian will need to submit a request for the additional funds on a form called the Application for the Expenditure of Funds, and the court will need to approve this request before the guardian can remove any money from the guardian account.
I can see how guardianships help protect older adults. But what about Kaylee? Now, she is still a minor, but soon will be an adult.
Hello, Sarah and Kaylee. How can I help you today?
Well, Hallie, we're here today because Kaylee's principal tells me my guardianship won't be any good when Kaylee turns 18, and I'd like to get a jump on things now.
Happy birthday, Kaylee. And yes, the guardianship will end because, Kaylee, you will be considered a legal adult when you turn 18. And remember, Sarah, the reason the judge appointed you as Kaylee's guardian is that she was under 18 when she was injured in the accident, and because she received money due to those injuries, as well as money due to the death of her parents.
Well, what do I need to do?
Well, you need to apply to be appointed a guardian of an adult.
What? That seems like a waste of time and money to have to go through that whole process again.
I know. And that's why it's so important to start setting things up now for Kaylee. And Kaylee, as an adult, you'll be eligible for a variety of services. The more you start involving different people in Kaylee's life now, the easier it will be for her to be more on her own someday. And it's also a good idea to name your preference of a successor guardian. And the probate court can give you all the names of the agencies that can help.
Great.
Hallie, this has really been educational, but I was wondering just how much time is involved here.
Good question. It does vary, but let me give you some idea of what a guardian's first year will involve. On the day that the court approves the appointment of a guardian, letters of authority will be given to the guardian, and within 90 days of that appointment date, the guardian will need to file an inventory of the ward's assets called the guardian's inventory. And 12 months from the date the guardian was appointed, and every year after, the guardian will be required to file a guardian's account. Now, this accounts for all the ward's financial assets, including money spent from the guardian's bank account. An occurrence that may happen during a typical year will be a need for money to cover an unusual expense for the ward. In this case, the guardian will need to file the application for the authority to expend funds to ask the court for permission to spend the extra money.
That didn't seem too bad.
It can go fairly quickly. I've seen guardianships established in a matter of weeks. But things such as family disagreements over the guardianship can slow down the process, so it's a good idea to do a little pre-planning.
Well, everything we've seen here today should give applicants an idea of the guardianship process and some of the things they may encounter as guardians.
Yes, and I want to emphasize that the probate court will help guardians whenever possible. In addition to the forms, we have an orientation video that guardians can review at any time and a website for quick access to the forms that need to be filed. And the Courtwise Manual and interactive CD is an excellent resource that takes guardians step by step through the guardianship process and is helpful in explaining many of the forms. And finally, we have a classroom training program that guardians can attend. With careful planning and guidance, guardians should find guardianship a rewarding experience in knowing that they're helping another person.
Great, Hallie. That's what I was hoping to hear. And thank you so much for all of your help today.
You are most welcome.
The journey of life can be a great challenge, and many people find themselves in need of help. As future guardians, the probate court commends you for reaching out to lend that helping hand.